guys! So, today I have some announcements to make, but first I thought I'd talk to you about some misconceptions people tend to have about faves. So, number one is main one I hear people say a lot, is that you are wasting your time. If you're idolising over somebody who hasn't met you, or you haven't met them, whatever way you want to say it, you are wasting your time. You could be doing something more productive like taxes or homework or, I don't know, running a book club, and that what you're doing is wasting your time. Now, this is a kind of hard one to disprove because that sort of thing is down to opinion on what is a waste of time and what isn't, and everyone's opinion is different. But I would say that the reason that is wrong for me is that having an idol can be very important for lots of people. Not everyone has tons of mental strength and confidence, not everyone has a really supportive family and loads of friends. You know, sometimes having an idol for someone is necessary. I hear a lot of these claims from the older generation in particular because they don't feel the same way about celebrities as young people do, but they would have had idols in their day, whether it was a footballer, an actor, a singer, whether it was the Beatles, whether it was the Rolling Stones. Having an idol is important to many people, so whereas I can't say it's definitely not a waste of time, because to one person it may be, but to other people it may be incredibly important. Are you actually kidding me again? Again? You're doing this again! You want to sit on my lap? Every time. The second one is that this person cannot have saved your life. The people who save your life are doctors, paramedics, etc. And that a YouTuber, a rock star, a footballer, whatever, an actor cannot have saved your life. What do? Inspirational tweets? Of course they haven't, saved a person's life. This may be true in the physical sense, that somebody cannot literally, I've got cat hair on me now, that somebody cannot literally save someone's life, as in restarting their heart if they're having a heart attack. But in the mental and psychological sense, some people, many people, would say, stop jumping on there, that that's untrue. They may not have a physical health problem, or they may not be dying of a terminal illness, that they may have mental health problems, they may be suicidal, they may be struggling, they may be dealing with stress, they may be having an existential crisis, they may be someone who has no friends and is very lonely, they may be someone who has no confidence. And yes, an idol of a person can save or change your life. They can change your life for the better, they can give you the strength and the confidence that you need to carry on with your life, and then hopefully you will be able to have the strength and confidence on your own. You should not rely on this person. That is not what I'm promoting. But if the person can give you the strength and confidence that you need, then you will be well equipped for the future. It's not right to tell somebody, oh, Black Veil Brides or One Direction or Dan and Phil or Zoella can't have saved your life. You're being ridiculous, because you don't know what the person has been through. They may not have saved their life in a physical sense, but the person may have needed them at that time. Somebody might have changed your life in an amazing way, and it's not right for other people to say that they can't. Another one I hear a lot, which is fairly understandable I guess, is that the love is unrequited. There's no point being in this sort of one-way relationship where you idolise the person and they don't know you exist. It's just a situation where you are in love with a person and they don't know who you are, and it's completely pointless and stupid. Where that may be the case sometimes, and with a lot of us, our idol doesn't know who we are. At the same time, a lot of celebrities adore their fans as a whole. That's not quite the same as adoring you, I know, but a lot of the time, the person will adore their fans, and if they were to meet you, they would love you, they would appreciate you, they would give you hugs. Another thing I'd like to add is sometimes the person does know you exist. Sometimes celebrities will interact with their fans on Twitter a lot. They may have noticed the person once or twice. Sometimes there are situations where the person has spoken to the fan a few times and they know each other's names. They may have met each other. This is a situation where the person does know you exist. Maybe they don't idolise you the way you idolise them, but they're just as happy to get your tweets and your messages. If they've met you, they're just as happy to meet you and hear your story and give you hugs. I can't speak for every famous person. I know that not everyone treats their fans the same way, but when I met Dan and Phil, they were incredibly keen to hear my story, to hear what I had to say. I could tell that they were interested in me as a person, so it's not right to say that the people do not care about you. You may think I'm a drop of water in the ocean, the person doesn't even know I exist, the person does not care. They do care. They may not know you exist now, they will one day, I'm sure. Even if they don't, they appreciate the fact that you are there. They know that they have a fan base, they know that the fan base are supportive, and most famous people do appreciate that. So those are basically 3 hypothetical scenarios. A scenario where the fave has met the fan, a scenario where the fan has been noticed by the faves, the third situation, which is where the person hasn't been noticed or met them, but they're part of a really supportive network that the person is appreciative of. Those are basically the categories that make up the symbiotic relationship between fans and faves. But to some people that isn't enough. A lot of people say, so you met the person, they ain't gonna remember you. They're not gonna care that you exist. So they noticed you, so they met you. Who cares? Next week, they've forgotten who you are. This is said a lot, and I've seen a lot of this criticism online, that a person will say to someone, well, you're never going to meet them, and the person meets them, and then other people say, yeah, but she's still wrong, because they won't remember her, or him. And it's incredibly negative to shit on people's experiences and people's happy times, but that is also something that I can disprove. As you know, when I met Dan and Phil, I gave them my version of Tabanoff. That's what that was, by the way. That was Abanoff. Amy's book is not on fire. I gave them my book that I had made, and it was a story of how they had changed my life because I couldn't explain it in that short space of time, so I gave it to them in a book. And when Dan received Abanov, he looked at it, he saw my Twitter handle on it, and he said,
"Oh, you're a sushi roll fan?
Yeah.
Hello, hi."
Now that's not to say that will happen for everyone. You can't promise that everyone will be remembered when they're noticed or when they meet the person, but it's possible. Statistically, we all know that they're not going to remember every fan that they meet. We know that. But they do remember some, and they do appreciate all. If you are respectful and supportive, they will appreciate you, and they may remember you. It's not right to make a rule and say that this person will not be remembered. When my good friend Emily Stirring Fandoms met them at Tabinov, that was her second time meeting them, and she also had a camera. She had my, you know, if you've seen Emily's vlog, that was my camera she was wearing around her neck. She made sure she put it around the wrong side, so she didn't do what I did. But yeah, she used my camera and vlogged her meeting Dan and Phil. And she said, "I don't know if you remember me, I met you last time, I'm Stirring Fandoms." And before she even finished the sentence, they said, we remember you. And they sounded sincere. They weren't going, "Yeah, we remember you." She's spoken to them on the internet a lot. She's met them, and they know her Twitter handle, they know her name, they've seen her face, they remember her. So it's not right for anyone to say that you won't be remembered by your fave. You might not, but you might. It's not for anyone to say that it's impossible. Another myth I would like to disprove is the myth that I will never get noticed because I'm irrelevant. I'm unlucky, I never meet famous people in the street like some people do, I never get noticed, I've got 200 followers or 2 followers, you know, I'm not relevant, I'm not funny enough, I'm not going to get noticed. Okay, whereas larger accounts are more likely to get noticed because they get more retweets.
People say that's not a thing, but it is statistically. The famous person isn't deliberately only noticing the big accounts, but if they get more retweets, they're possibly more likely to be seen. That's just a thing.
However, I was completely irrelevant. I didn't have a successful YouTube channel, I didn't have loads of followers, I was, in my mind, completely invisible to Dan and Phil. They had no idea who I was, and I got noticed by Dan on YouNow, I got noticed by Dan on Twitter, and then Dan noticed me again when we were talking about the Urge fan fiction thing that he wrote. So it's possible. I'm not a big account, I'm not a obscenely popular person who gets noticed by celebrities all the time, but if I can get noticed, anyone can. And if you're thinking, I'm so irrelevant, I haven't been noticed for ages. I wasn't noticed for ages. I thought Dan and Phil would never know who I was. I was really sad because Nikki got noticed by Gerard Way and I was just really jealous of them for ages. And I thought nothing like that would ever happen to me. But I've been noticed by Dan. Still, if you think that you're less likely to get noticed because you're less relevant, keep going. Keep saying interesting things. Try not to be annoying, but if you say something funny or clever in response or reply with something that's a question, which thinks maybe if they see it they'll answer, chances are you will eventually get noticed. I think that's all for today. I think I've busted a few myths and hopefully I'm making people feel a little bit more positive about their relationship with their faves. If your faves are Dan and Phil, remember that they have said what we have with them is a symbiotic relationship. They've said that we help them in many ways and they help us and they appreciate us. So if you're one of the people who hasn't been noticed by them, bear that in mind. They appreciate whatever you do. Another thing you probably have noticed by watching this video, and also I've tweeted about it, is that I have done my name change. This is the official announcement. I am now Sushi Roll Speaks. I am named after a really bad selfie, but that doesn't matter. I'm Sushi Roll Speaks. I think it's cute, it's fun, it tells you what I do, I speak, and I don't know, I like it. It's better than 60-second yoga, it's much more about what I'm doing now, it's less about stuff that I don't do anymore. I feel much more comfortable this way. Another thing to announce is I have an edit channel which is called AmyAberrant. That's not new news, that's just the way it is. I realise that with my Twitter I'm not really reaching people who watch my edits. My edits are not as popular as this channel. I now have a Twitter for that channel where I'm going to promote my edits because
I'm into the fandom, the Sherlock fandom, I'm into supernatural, I do things about activism, I do things about bands.
I do things that lots of people would be into and they're not really getting noticed and they're not really achieving their potential. So I was thinking it would be good to get into those fandoms that I am into on a different channel and maybe get some super hoolock people, kind of get involved in some fandoms that way and promote my channel. So I'll put the link in the description. I've done edits about body posy, I've done all sorts of things. So hopefully that gets off the ground soon. I'm nearly at 500 subscribers on that channel, so if you want to check that out, that would help me out a lot. And I hope that my video has helped you lots and I hope you have a lovely day. Bye!
Oh, you like the Pretenders! You look so chilled.